for Lord of the Rings Conquest, I mean, this game really started out as a dream for us. After working on Star Wars Battlefront 2, we wanted to take this gameplay experience of an open battlefield and bring it to a fantasy setting. And there's so much you can do in a fantasy setting that you can't do in a science fiction setting, like melee combat and swords and magic. And so we really wanted to take all the things we learned from Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 and combine it into a kind of new open battlefield experience. You get to play on these massive Lord of the Rings battles, every battle from the major films, but you get to choose how you want to play. You can play as a warrior and engage in melee combat. You can play as an archer and engage in ranged combat. You can use magic. You can use stealth mechanics. We have all the heroes are available, both good and evil. You get to play as both the good guys and the bad guys in this game. We've got Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, Frodo, and on the bad side, for the first time ever, a lot of these bad guys that you've always wanted to play, like the Ring Wraiths, the Witch King, Saruman. You get to play as the Balrog. You get to play as Saruman himself in the evil campaign. So the idea with the evil campaign is we just assume, what if Frodo had failed in destroying the ring? What would have happened? And what would have happened if Sauron had gained control of the ring at the very end of the film? So we launched this evil campaign that begins at the end of the films, where Sauron gains control of the ring, and essentially he resurrects his generals and launches across Middle-earth, and you get to play as all the bad guys as you systematically move through the lands of Middle-earth, conquering everyone as you go along. We have the option for people to play evil if they want to right away. We have a ton of instant action modes in the game. We have Capture the Flag, we have Conquest, where you're capturing control points, we have Deathmatch, and we have a bunch of objective-based instant action games. So for people that just want to hop in and play, and they want to be an Uruk-hai, or they want to play as a troll, or they want to ride the wargs or ride the Oliphants, you can do that. But if you want to go through the story, you can go through the good campaign, which kind of follows the events of the film, still giving you the freedom to do anything you want. And then the evil campaign kind of is a alternate ending that's tacked on it's a lot more challenging in the evil campaign. The way we've done balancing is we've separated the classes into 4 basic gameplay mechanics. There's your warriors, who are your melee-based combat. Your archers are your ranged specialists. Your mages are your magic specialist and your support class. They're your healers and support both defensive and offensive magic. And then your scouts, which are your stealth specialists. So even if you have a character that is a scout, he might not be as effective at head-on combat, but he's got stealth mechanics, he can cloak, he's got backstabs and grabs and stuff, so he's got ways to compensate. And what we've done is balanced each of the 4 classes against each other, so they really have a unique feel and play in both single player and multiplayer. We've got every major location where there was a battle from all 3 films, and a few from the books, and a few extended ones. We've got Helm's Deep, we've got the Battle of the Last Alliance, we've got Isengard, we've got the Mines of Moria, we've got Weathertop, we've got the Shire. You get to actually attack and burn down the Shire as the bad guys. We've got Rivendell, we've got the Black Gate, we've got a lot. There's a lot. I think one of the biggest improvements is a pretty robust melee combat system. We knew that we needed to do this if we were going to address the Lord of the Rings universe. And so we've taken what essentially was a shooter and added a melee gameplay into it that is pretty satisfying. So you can run around and play the whole game as a melee-focused character, fight against other melee characters, and kick some butt. Or you can play the whole game as a shooter, or you can flip around between the two. So it's actually creates a pretty unique gameplay experience that really couldn't have been done in any other universe but Lord of the Rings. Again, we wanted to make sure that we were playing with a bunch of things that made sense within the Lord of the Rings universe, but also were really fun for multiplayer fans. One of the cool modes that we have is called Ring Bearer. One player plays as Frodo, and the rest of the players are Ring Wraiths. And you're trying to hunt down Frodo, and the first player as a Ring Wraith to find and kill Frodo gets to be Frodo. And the object is to try to stay as long as you can as Frodo. And he's got the ring so he can cloak, and he's got sting so he's got a weapon to fight off the other guys. But he's basically trying to stay alive as long as he can, and the more points you get as Frodo, the closer you are to winning.